Hello, welcome back to another video, and we're back with the GC3 League with NxtGen, SimFX, P1 and Mature Racing Club. Round 9 I think this one is, so we're getting towards the tail end of the season now, just a couple of rounds left to go. So yeah, there's 3 more, there's this round and then there's 3 more left. So this one, anyone familiar with GT will know this track. It is the Blue Moon Bay Speedway Infield A variant. It's a fictional circuit, so it's not a real one. You can't go out and drive this in the real world, but we've had quite a lot of races here, so you'll be relatively familiar with the layout if you've seen my videos before. This is a sprint race. I'll cover the feature race in another video. We did some qualifying for this one, so a little bit of background info. Cutler put a good lap in to get himself on pole. Dangly Ball, aka Tony, got second. The BMW, sorry, I had to cough. The BMW wasn't the fastest here at all. In fact, I was really impressed to get a third. I was genuinely expecting to be sort of lower mid pack somewhere. Then you got Jambu in 4th, but I knew he'd get a good start. That Audi always gets away from the line well. Purcell, similar, that Merc sort of fires away. Robinson in 6th, Sean F, who's beginning to really get used to the Merc, is in 7th, Spider Team in 8th, and Pilgrim Paddy, fellow BMW driver, is in 9th, just evidencing just how poor the BMW was here. So get underway with it. Just a little bit of background info into this video. I've not necessarily delayed making this, but deliberated making it. There was a little bit of an issue in the lobbies tonight with regards to internet connection, so I think Cutler's been having some internet issues. He's the host, so it all goes through his internet. So you'll see a little bit of lagging in this, and it was worse in the lobby on the night. I think the replay doesn't do it justice, but it does play a part in the racing. But I'll try and cover it. I guess that's sim racing. When you're racing through an internet connection, you're going to get these things. So let's get underway with the race. We'll cover what we can. So can't see the lights, but I got away poorly there really. Not too bad from previous time. Jambo rockets up to 2nd. Purcell jumps me, and Dangly Balls drop down to 3rd. So Cutler gets away well, Jambo gets away well. I've sort of lined in 4th now behind Dangly Ball. He's currently challenging for 2nd place. Alright, Purcell is behind me. Robinson in 6th, Sean F in 7th. We'll come back to Sean a little bit. Spider Team and Pilgrim Paddy rounding up the grid. So this is how we get underway then. So the first lap was very sort of processional, I thought. This is characterised by a very long straight. So this is why the BMW is awful around here, because I cannot hold my own on this straight. I'm a couple of miles an hour down at least on the straight, even with a slipstream. So Tony's just going to breeze past me here, I think. You'll notice I don't fight that. There's not really any point. I might as well sit in his slipstream for a little bit and get the benefit of him in front of me. Although we just get a really poor exit from there, but you'll notice I back out of this. I'm just filing behind. It wasn't really worth going for it. You'll see a little bit of the lag starting to kick in now as Cutler comes round to around halfway the 2nd lap. Jambu now currently fighting off Tony. You can see that lag there. Look. You're going to get fed up with me talking about lag, by the way, but you'll sort of understand why once we get a few more minutes into the video. So again, relatively processional down at the bottom. So the top 4 then, we're using each other's slipstream essentially in order to break away from the pack. We're not necessarily fighting each other too hard either, so if one car's quicker, i.e. so from me and Tony, although Jambo has gone defensive there as I say that, it's going to cost him exit speed. Tony slips a lovely move around the outside of Jambu there. Jambu can't really do anything about that. Yeah, we weren't really putting up too much of a fight if another car was genuinely quicker. See me now, I'm catching up to Jambu as he gets a really bad exit from that corner. But again, the speed of the Audi just helps him out. I was really good on the brakes though. Potentially why my tyres get eaten up is that I just can't get out of the brake harsh and late sort of scenario that I find myself in. I was right on board with Jambu. He gets a little bit squirrely. Not too important though, as long as he gets a good exit from here, he should be absolutely fine. Tony clips the wall up ahead, and Jambu does escape for another lap. Can't get my camera angles right. So now it's all filing in a little bit of slipstream. You can see everyone filing in below. At this point, Cutler's pulled out just a little bit of a lead. He's just been the fastest lap of the race so far, 106.6. It's a great lap, so he's not getting any slipstreams. Really hones a good lap in this track. I was running those sort of times in practice, but I was struggling to replicate it in the race. I was trying to think about tyres and fuel and stuff like that. You can make the entire race on fuel, but if you want to be competitive, you could have probably done with a pit stop. So my strategy in this was to stop end of lap 9 or 10, depending on how my tyres were. So I was one stop in this. Didn't need to put much fuel in there. I was just going to splash and dash it. So Tony's had a really strong lap there, and he's been able to catch up to the back end of Cutler's car. So he's just going to sail past here. Cutler does go a little bit defensive, pushes him onto the dirty stuff, but the track's wide enough that he can make that stick. So it's now Tony, Cutler, Jambu, me, Purcell, Robinson, Sean F and Pilgrim Paddy. With Spider Team in 9th. Cutler gets a really bad exit there. I've dropped back a little bit. I had a really bad exit from the last corner on the last lap, so I was a little bit down all the way through the straight. Is Jambu going to go for a move on Cutler? That looked a little bit tappy. And what that's done now is that's enabled me to catch right up to the back of these guys. Tony's escaped a little bit. Cutler and Jambu now embroiled in a little bit of a fight. I'm all over the back of Jambu. Lap 7 then, it's pretty much as you were when we left the action. What I was discovering here is that I was miles quicker through this section than Jambu. So he went it nice and close, and then this happened. So this is the incident that I was going to talk about. As you can hear, my engine's knackered, I've got front suspension damage, I've got front aero damage. When you've got engine damage, you have what can only be described as epically limited proportion from the engine. You cannot really go. As you see, I'm just getting overtaken left, right and centre by cars that were 6-7 seconds behind us originally. There goes Sean. There goes Purcell. And if I got to Pilgrim Paddy behind, so I was running in 7th. But we'll go back and review that incident. Okay. So I'll pause it there. Now as you can see, you're nice and tight to the back end of Jambu. Basically as we come through this corner here, there's a little bit of a lag spike. This wasn't Jambu's fault. He didn't move his car in any way or anything that he shouldn't have done. His racing was perfectly fine. Never ever have an issue with that. But I basically suffered from the gods of the internet not wanting me to get past him. So keeping the racing nice and tight, my plan here was to get a better run out of this corner than him and take him at the hairpin. So I've been essentially lining him up for a move there for a couple of laps, and this was my I wanted to get in front of him before the pit stops because I didn't want Cutler to get too far ahead. So you'll notice I go a little bit right, and there's a lag spike. So we'll just go back and play it in real time. without me talking over it. So now I've got to let me onto the pits, race over pretty much. I was running in a solid 4th, but was going to be challenging for a podium. I do reckon over the course of that race that I would have probably ended up in a 3rd, potentially a 2nd, but Tony and Cutler were very strong in these races, so a realistic 3rd position was very much on the cards for me. At worst, a 4th place was pretty much assured. So just have a quick recap of the action then. There's a dangler ball. Okay, Tony, 1st position. Cutler's been catching him though slowly. He's running 2nd now with Jambu after that. Fortunately, Jambu didn't get any damage following that incident. It was only me. If you notice in the bottom left-hand corner, his car is all grey, so that means there's no damage. Robinson in 4th, benefiting from me having to spend time in the pits. Sean F doing the same. He's doing a really good job of challenging Robinson. The livery that's on his car at the minute is one that I designed when I was bored the other night. Sort of a Black Falcon AMG inspired livery. With Purcell running in 6th at this minute in time. I'm now out of the pits in 7th, and I'm not going to lie, driving angry. I'm fuming at this point. It's cost me an absolute ton of time. So in 7th, not sure what I can hope for in terms of this race. I've had to pit early, so my tyres are going to be done in at the end, and I'm not exactly driving well either, as you can see, so I'm not exactly looking after them. And then Pilgrim Paddy's running in 8th in the BMW, so I've got a BMW behind me. And Spider Team in the Merc, carrying a little bit of damage, potentially a wall hit. Very easily done here. CJ's on the final lap. Tony's done a brilliant job in this race. Did overtake Cutler in the pits. Cutler just had to come in and probably splash and dash and get some new boots on the car. So Tony's now running in 1st. Cutler's in 2nd. Jambu's not too far behind in 3rd. Probably both marginal on fuel though. Sean F, great race from Sean. He's kept it clean and consistent, and done a really good job to be running in 4th. I've been trying to catch NGR Robinson, but owing to him having pitted later, you'll see in a second, his tyres are in much better nick. His tyres, my tyres. Not helped by me driving angry, of course, but I've just not been able to chip away at him enough. So I'm down in 6th position. Purcell running in 7th, Paddy in 8th, and Spider Team running in 9th position at this minute in time. So well done to Dangledore for winning. Cutler takes the 2nd step of the podium with Jambu finishing 3rd. Sean F a strong 4th for him. NGR Robinson just a couple of seconds up the road from me. That brings home 5th. Raid spanning it over the line. Purcell probably be a little bit disappointed. Had a really good start, was running really high up at the start of the race. Did have a little bit of a spin at one point. He just outbroke himself at the hairpin, so he brought home 7th. Pilgrim Paddy in 8th. Spider Team